Anxiety often feels like a stranger who has overstayed their welcome. It's that uninvited guest who shows up in the quiet moments, during the stillness before sleep, or in the middle of a mundane afternoon. What once felt like a peaceful solitude now feels heavy, like the walls of your own home are pressing in. Your mind, instead of resting, starts to churn. Small worries, old hurts, and unknown fears begin to swirl, and without you even realizing it, anxiety has taken a seat right beside you. But what if this feeling, this unease we've been taught to avoid, is not a sign of our weakness? What if anxiety is a messenger, not an enemy? Buddhist teaching suggests that suffering, including this restless feeling, is a guide. It's a quiet companion that leads us back to what truly matters. We are often taught to hide our discomfort, to escape it with distraction, or drown it in noise. However, Buddhist wisdom offers another way: to meet our discomfort with understanding, to make anxiety our teacher, and to use it as a tool for a deeper journey inward. This isn't about making anxiety vanish, it's about changing our relationship with it. It's a simple, ancient truth that has helped people find peace in the midst of inner turmoil. If your thoughts ever feel like a cage, if you've been carrying worry like a heavy stone for too long, then stay with me. This is about looking clearly at what is and finding freedom right there. Because you are not broken. You are simply being invited to see your anxiety in a new light. The root of anxiety: clinging and resistance. Anxiety doesn't just appear out of thin air. It has deep, often hidden roots. In Buddhist tradition, these roots are known as clinging, or attachment, and resistance, or aversion. These are not just concepts. They are habits of the heart and mind that become more noticeable as we go through life. Clinging is the part of our mind that holds tightly to the things we love: our routines, our sense of control, the comfort of familiarity. When change inevitably comes, this grasping turns into fear, a whisper that says, "Please don't take this away." Then there's resistance, the urge to push away what we dislike: pain, sickness, loneliness, or the natural process of aging. We try to fight these things, hoping to keep them at a distance. But both clinging and resistance are exhausting and ultimately futile. The Buddha taught that everything that arises will also pass away. Our bodies, relationships, and even our emotions are in a constant state of flux. It is our refusal to accept this truth that feeds our anxiety. When we cling to the past or resist the present, anxiety finds space to grow. The truth that can set us free is that we never truly had control to begin with. We can find peace not in keeping things the same, but in opening our hands and accepting life as it is. As the Dhammapada says, from clinging comes grief, from clinging comes fear. When you begin to soften your grip on how things should be, the weight of anxiety starts to lift. The liberating thought: this is a thought, not a fact. Anxious thoughts often arrive like uninvited guests, slipping quietly into the room of our minds before we even notice their presence. They do not knock or ask permission. They settle heavily, carrying with them the weight of unease. Their voices can be persistent, whispering warnings: something is wrong. This will never get better. At first, these whispers may seem small, but given attention, they grow louder until they echo inside us like undeniable truths. In those moments, it can feel as though we are no longer the host but the prisoner, trapped within a storm of fear, unable to see the sky beyond the clouds. And yet, Buddhist wisdom offers a lantern in that darkness, simple, steady, and profoundly liberating. This is a thought, not a fact. Not every thought deserves our belief. Thoughts arise from many sources: old fears still echoing from the past, memories that shaped us but no longer define us, or the mind's relentless effort to protect us by preparing for every possible danger. But a thought, no matter how loud, vivid, or convincing, remains only that, a momentary ripple moving across the vast ocean of awareness. The mind is creative, endlessly generating stories, and not all of them are true. Picture the open sky on a windy day. Clouds drift in, sometimes thick and heavy, sometimes light and playful. They come and go without asking, and their shapes are constantly changing. Some linger, others pass quickly. Yet the sky itself, wide and boundless, is never harmed by them. No matter how many storms rage across it, the sky remains untouched, vast and still. In the same way, your thoughts may swirl and darken, but they cannot stain the spacious clarity of your mind. You are not the clouds. You are the sky. A wise monk once reminded us, "Don't believe everything you think." This teaching points toward what Buddhists call non-identification, the art of recognizing thoughts for what they are, temporary movements of the mind, not reflections of who we are at the deepest level. Practicing non-identification doesn't mean pushing thoughts away, silencing them, or fighting with them. In fact, resistance often gives them more strength. Instead, it means meeting them gently, with patience and understanding. When an anxious thought arises, you might softly acknowledge it, saying, "Ah, I see you, thought. You are here, but you are not reality." This simple act of recognition shifts everything. The thought no longer holds the same power. Instead of being pulled into its current, you step back and watch from the riverbank. Instead of being caught in the storm, you find yourself standing quietly beside it, noticing its movement without being swept away. In that noticing, a new spaciousness opens. You realize there is a part of you that is always calm, always aware, always free, no matter what thoughts pass through. With practice, this perspective begins to take root. You learn to live with thoughts without being ruled by them. They come, they stay for a time, and they go, just as waves rise and fall, returning to the sea. What once felt like a prison becomes simply weather passing through. And in that recognition, a deeper freedom emerges. The freedom to rest in the stillness beneath the storm, to live not as the thoughts themselves, but as the awareness in which they arise. This is the liberating truth at the heart of mindfulness. You are not your thoughts. They do not define you, and they are not the measure of your reality. Like clouds in the sky they pass, like ripples on the ocean they fade, and what remains, steady, vast, and unchanging, is the clear space of your true self. If this message resonates with you, and you're seeking more moments of peace and insight, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for daily reflections rooted in ancient wisdom and modern clarity. The art of stillness, resting in what is. Anxiety is a master of time travel. Unlike the body, which is always anchored in the present moment, anxiety lives almost entirely in the realm of the what if. It is always tugging us forward into an uncertain future, weaving endless scenarios of what might happen. It drags us through long corridors of possibility, each door opening to a different fear. Behind one, what if this goes wrong? Behind another, what if I'm not enough? And yet another, what if everything falls apart? The questions echo without offering answers. They are phantoms, shadows projected by the mind. And still the pull feels real. We can spend entire days wandering those empty hallways, lost in futures that never arrive. The irony is this: those doors into the future are closed. They cannot be opened because they do not exist. They are only figments of imagination, mirages that vanish the moment we look closely. The home of peace. Peace, by contrast, is never far away. It doesn't live in some distant outcome or perfect arrangement of life. Peace lives here now, in this breath, in this body, in this very moment that is unfolding. The present is the only ground that actually exists beneath our feet. Everything else, past and future alike, are stories in the mind. Mindfulness, the beating heart of Buddhist practice, is the gentle art of returning again and again to this now. It is the reminder that the only place life can truly be touched is here, in the living stream of awareness that flows through this moment. What mindfulness truly is, mindfulness is often misunderstood. It is not about erasing thoughts, silencing the mind, or forcing ourselves into blankness. It is not about striving for perfection or becoming someone who never feels fear. Instead, mindfulness is the practice of noticing, of observing softly without judgment. It is the quiet courage to remain where your feet are, instead of wandering into the fog of what-ifs and maybes. It is allowing yourself to see, this is just a thought, just a feeling, just a cloud passing by. The Buddha captured this with striking simplicity. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. In this teaching lies a profound remedy for anxiety. The present moment is the one place anxiety cannot touch, because anxiety requires an imagined future to survive. When we return to now, we step outside of its grasp. Meeting anxiety with breath. When you feel the tide of anxiety rising, the invitation is not to resist. Resistance only feeds the fire. Fighting your own mind creates another layer of struggle. Instead, the practice is to soften, to offer no fight, but instead to offer your breath. With each inhale, you remember, I am here. With each exhale, you remember, I am alive. You ground yourself in the body, the most reliable anchor you have. Feel the weight of your body resting in the chair. Feel the steady presence of your feet pressing into the earth. Notice the warmth of sunlight across your skin, the coolness of air entering your lungs, the rhythm of your inhale and exhale. These simple sensations tether you to the only moment that is real. Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh reminds us, feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor. This is not denial. This is not escape. This is the sacred act of returning to yourself. Befriending the moment. Mindfulness, then, is not about defeating anxiety. It is about befriending the not just possible but inevitable. The art of loving yourself. Anxiety rarely comes alone. It often brings with it a sharp, relentless companion, the inner critic. This inner voice whispers accusations in the quiet of our minds. You should be stronger. You are a burden. Why can't you handle this like everyone else? With each phrase, it chips away at our spirit, layering fear with shame. In our most vulnerable moments, this voice convinces us that our struggle is a flaw rather than a part of being human. Buddhist wisdom offers a gentle but powerful antidote: self-compassion. Why we struggle with kindness toward ourselves. Many of us were taught to be strong, to hide our emotional needs, to keep moving no matter what storms we carried inside. Vulnerability was seen as weakness. Self-care was mistaken for selfishness. We learn to suppress sadness, to bury fear, to silence pain. But whatever we push away does not vanish. It waits. And when life finally slows down or circumstances grow heavy, all that we have buried rises to the surface, like waves breaking after years of pressure. This is often when anxiety appears strongest, pulling us into cycles of self-blame and overwhelm. And yet, the way through is not found in perfection or control. Peace is not found in proving our worth or silencing our feelings. Peace comes from tenderness. The Buddha himself reminded us, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. This is not indulgence. It is not weakness. It is not selfish. It is a lifeline. Meeting anxiety with kindness. When anxiety rises, the instinct may be to fight it, to wrestle with the thoughts, to push them away. But resistance often fuels the fire. Instead, imagine meeting anxiety the way you would meet a child who is scared, not with scolding but with gentle reassurance. When the mind cries out, "What's wrong with me?" try replacing it with, "This is hard and I'm doing the best I can." Notice the difference in tone. One voice condemns, the other comforts. This small shift in language creates space for healing. You can also bring the body into the practice. Place your hand over your heart or gently on your chest. Feel the warmth of your own touch, a reminder that you are here with yourself, not against yourself. Let this gesture be a quiet promise: I will not abandon myself. These small acts carry immense power. They are signals to the nervous system that safety is possible, even in the midst of fear. They are reminders that compassion can soften the hardest edges of anxiety. What self-compassion really does is important to understand. Self-compassion does not erase anxiety. It does not make pain vanish or guarantee peace at all times. Instead, it transforms the relationship we have with our suffering. Without compassion, anxiety can feel like a prison, walls closing in, leaving us trapped with our fear. But with compassion, those same walls shift into a path. We may still walk alongside our pain, but now we do so with gentleness, with support, with kindness as a companion. Self-compassion softens the story. Instead of "I am broken," it becomes "I am human." Instead of "I shouldn't feel this way," it becomes "This is difficult, but I am not alone in it." A practice to try. The next time your inner critic speaks, pause, place your hand over your heart, breathe slowly, and repeat quietly, "This is a moment of suffering. Suffering is part of being human. May I be kind to myself in this moment." These words, adapted from the work of psychologist Kristin Neff, are like medicine. They remind us that pain is not a personal failure. It is a universal thread. And kindness, extended inward, is not weakness, but the deepest form of strength. Self-compassion does not promise a life free of storms, but it gives us shelter within them. It teaches us that we can live with anxiety without being defined by it, that we can stumble without losing our worth, and that tenderness toward ourselves can turn even the sharpest moments of suffering into openings for healing. In this way, self-compassion is not just a practice, it is a path, a lifelong friend, and a medicine the heart already knows it needs. A guided practice for finding peace. Find a pause in your day. It doesn't need to be a grand moment, just a small opening, a soft clearing in the rhythm of life. Let this pause be enough. Sit down if you can, or simply stand where you are. Feel the gentle pull of gravity holding you steady, the solid ground rising to meet you. Notice your weight, notice your presence. Allow yourself to arrive here without rushing. Inhale slowly, drawing air into your chest, your ribs, your belly. Feel the breath expand within you, like a quiet opening. Then exhale gently like a soft sigh, as though you are setting down a heavy bag you no longer wish to carry. Breathe again, slow and steady, letting each breath remind you that you are here, alive, supported. Now, invite into your awareness a worry, a tension, a thought that has been clinging to you. It may be small or heavy, sharp or dull. Whatever it is, let it appear. You don't need to chase it away. You don't need to fix it. Simply let it rest here with you, as though you are holding a feather in your open hand, not a stone pressing down on your heart. In the quiet of your heart, speak softly to yourself, "This is passing." Pause. Notice how the edges of the feeling soften, like fog lifting from the ground. "This is not my essence." Pause again. Sense the space opening between you and this passing cloud. You are the sky, not the weather. "This does not define me." Exhale fully. Feel the release, the return of spaciousness, the reminder that you are more than this momentary weight. Stay here for a while. With each repetition, the hold of the thought loosens. You are not banishing it. You are simply watching it with kindness, allowing it to exist without giving it your name. Remember, the thought is like weather, ever-changing. It drifts in, it lingers, and it drifts out. But you are the vast sky that holds it all. The sky is not broken by the storm, not diminished by the passing clouds. The sky remains whole, and so do you. As you sit in this stillness, feel yourself touch the part of you that never wavers, the steady presence beneath all movement, the deep quiet beneath all noise. This presence has been here your whole life, waiting, holding, unchanged. Take another slow breath in and release it fully. Feel the clarity it brings, and now ask yourself gently, without force, what life could unfold if I set down what isn't truly mine? What new path could appear if I listened, not to fear, but to the voice that leads me home? Let the question echo softly, like a bell ringing in your chest. You don't need an answer right away. Just let it guide you, like a lantern glowing in the dark, one step at a time. When you're ready, return to your day carrying this reminder. You are not your worries. You are not your fears. You are the calm beneath the storm, the sky beyond the clouds, the stillness that endures.